be live on Facebook. Yay! I always get excited when I actually go live because sometimes it hasn't worked. So welcome guys to For Effect's Sake Marketing. I'm brought to you some lovely tips from exceptional entrepreneurs. So I have Sarah with me again today. So if you were watching yesterday, that's okay if you were, but if you were watching yesterday, we talked about building an online business and how to reach more customers online, and how there's never been a better time with everybody going online now that maybe weren't online before or weren't comfortable online. So online workshops, events, there's 2-day events. We've done a couple of 2-day events ourselves online, and sales have exploded since what happened. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime. That's what we talked about yesterday. And if you've been going around in circles at all and doing it all by yourself, I know we've done heaps of it, haven't we, Sarah? We've downloaded the freebies, we've got the books, we've attended the seminars, we paid for courses, kind of know what you have to do, but the list is so long. So we'll put together over the next couple of weeks lots of tips and tricks to help you, and information and problem solving for you. So if you don't know how to connect it all together, that's all cool. We're going to help you over those next couple of weeks. So if you want to have the reliable, never had to go back to a job kind of business, keep your eyes peeled over the next couple of days. So we promised yesterday that we were going to share with you today the top 5 marketing skills to develop first. Now we did ask a question and say, what do you think the top 5 skills that you might need to develop first? So we wanted to really make a distinction here, that we're not just talking about marketing skills, we're talking about core marketing skills. Sarah, did you want to just add to that what the difference is between just a marketing skill of maybe being able to put content out and to be able to engage people versus the core marketing skills that we're going to be talking about?
I think the distinction for what we're about to share is the 5 core skills that you can use everywhere. So on any online platform. So these are the skills that once you put some time and energy into developing them as you grow your business, that they're going to serve you no matter what platform you're working on today, no matter what maybe email you're writing or funnel you're building out or whatever that is. So these are those go-tos. And as we talked about yesterday, it's about building that foundation under your business. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about the top 5 ones that we realize now are fundamental to growing your business online.
Yeah. And as Sarah said, these are the ones that you'll use everywhere. God knows we've read enough books and, attended enough blessed things, as I'm sure you have too, that we're hearing, if you really have a listening for it, you'll hear the same message a lot. And one of the ones is the first one of these core marketing skills that we're going to share with you. You'll hear this a lot. So what we'll do is we'll kind of mention the 5 of them, and then we're going to go back and expand on each one just a little bit, and we're going to give you a tip, a real juicy tip that you can take away today and actually implement so that you can start building these skills. So the one that you'll have heard about a lot is you got to know who you're talking about. So you got to know. So number 1 is avatar / your ideal client. So some people get mixed up with what's avatar. It's not the big purple person. It's your ideal client. If you had a magic wand, the ideal client. And it's the biggest mistake. I know I made it myself. The biggest mistake was trying to reach everyone. That doesn't work. So that's number 1. We're going to go deeper into it in a minute. What's number 2, Sarah?
So number 2 is one of the key marketing skills is video. Video just expands our reach. When we do put up content, video is where all the online platforms are heading. And video is that type of content that is just consumed a hell of a lot more than it was even a couple of years ago. So having skills in creating your own videos, whether that's face to camera or, as we're going to reveal, a quick, easy way to do it without having to get your makeup on and get all ready and put your face to camera. So video is definitely one of those key skills.
Awesome. And the next one is copywriting, which young Sarah here is an absolute expert in. So what's the importance of copywriting? Now, can I just, before we do that, make one distinction here? I'm not talking about you have a painting by somebody and you're trying to make it yours, but you're copywriting it, or you have music by somebody and it's under copyright. It's not that. Copy is something that you write in every Facebook post, in every sales page, in everything. That's first of all. So let's just make that slight distinction. But tell us the importance of copywriting as one of these core marketing skills, Sarah.
Yeah, well, I think you almost said it there. It's actually something that Frank Kern, I've heard him say, and it's like, there's only two things you're ever doing in marketing. You're either typing or you're talking. And all of that is words, and all of that is messaging, and it all comes down to direct response copy when we're trying to elicit an action from someone. So if you actually think about how much you're either typing or talking, speaking or writing, whatever you want to call it, every day in your business, you will realize the opportunity to learn how to write better for business, which essentially is copywriting. Get your message out there in a way that influences, persuades, and with an impact for those people you can help the most.
Yeah, as we quite often talk about, the right message, the right person at the right time, so that you can attract those customers, especially in the online space, so you can attract more and build your online business. And the next one is, one of my favorite topics is funnels. You got to know that customer journey. You got to know where you're bringing them. And it's all too often we see it that people have a funnel that just stops. When they get people in, they go, yay, it's great, I've got all these people, but there's no substance to it. They don't know where to bring them next. And it's really vital as one of your marketing skills. And as we said, you'll use this anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's video, if it's copy, if it's a 2-day event, if it's a 5-day event, if it's bringing them through the funnel to a big event. It doesn't matter. It actually need to have a funnel. So we're going to give you, again, hang in there for the end of today, because we're going to give you some really juicy tips on each one of these areas. So that was number 4. And number 5 was, Sarah?
Skills in influence and persuasion. May I just put feel good skills or authentic skills in these? Like this is not influence, persuasion and that scammy, sleazy stuff from yesteryear. This is being able to influence your ideal customer and get their attention and show them the value you have, and make that offer that you could help us either solve one of their problems or help them satisfy one of their core desires. So being able to influence and persuade in a way that makes you feel good, makes them feel good, helps you make money, key skill.
That's what it's all about. Okay, so I hope you've had your pen and paper. So let's just go through that, and we're going to give you a hot tip for each one. Number 1 is you need to know who you're talking about. So all about your avatar / ideal client. Number 2 was video. It is the best way of communicating in a marketing sense that there is out there at this moment. It is said so by all of the experts, and trust me, we've looked at it. Number 3 is copywriting. So make sure you're writing it down. Copywriting as in copywriting, not the other one, but all how you put the words down and how you grab an attention. The next one is a funnel is number 4. Make sure that you have that customer journey. We're going to give you a tip on that in just a moment. And then the 5th one is influence and persuasion. Being able to influence and persuade people, as Sarah said, not in a scammy way, but in a way that they know the value that you can bring and how you can help them. So you ready for the tips? Ta-da! So tip number 1 on avatar. Avatar is, I'll do this tip, you can do it next.
Sure, let's do it.
So avatar number 1 is go to YouTube, type in what it is, one of the biggest problems that you help people solve. So something that, you know, how to lose weight when you're over 50 or whatever that is, how to find more clients online. Type it in, what it is, find some videos on exactly people answering that question, and look at the comments. Look at the comments to what people are actually saying, what they're asking, and where they're saying there's stuck points in, or can you give us more about this or whatever. It's a little gold mine. Have a look in there. One of the first places to do some awesome market research. So that's a hot tip. Get onto YouTube, type in, remember, just type in what you think you would ask or your ideal client would be asking. How do I fix that ingrown toenail? Whatever it is, type it in and look at the comments. Not just the content of the video, look at the comments below it, and there's some gold in there. And young Sarah.
Cool. So the second skill was video. And our very awesome tip for today is to recommend an amazing online video software that we teach to a lot of our members and some of our events. But we teach it because it's the best one that we've found at the best price with amazing functionality. So if you're maybe a little less tech-minded than some, or it scares you, or you're just not sure where to get started on video, we are going to drop a link down below to InVideo. And InVideo is the software that we love to use. It has a full range of a library of stock videos. So you don't even have to like record your own videos. You can just go in there. It's a little bit like Canva. Like you can just go in there, find your stock videos, and they've got templates galore to start creating those 30 to 90 second promo videos for your upcoming event, for your upcoming webinar, for your new product, whatever that is. So
yeah, and don't go and search it and Google for it right now until we put the comment in, because with the link we'll give you, you get 14-day trial, and then it's $5 a month with the code I'll give you. For God's sake, it is the best value that we have found, with the best service and with the most and up-to-date and always updating templates and functionality.
And they've also got an amazing library of music, which is something you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of copywriting, the other copywriting. So I just love that they've got stock videos, stock photos, and stock music all in one space, templates galore, and click, plug and play kind of stuff. So it's super, super easy.
And I know part of that account as well, when you have the paid account, albeit very little paid account, and you do get some of the stock images and things like that that are normally paid ones. You get a certain number of those every month in your payment as free.
Yeah,
easy peasy. So we'll make sure that we put that link in the comments and a little code, so you get 50% off.
50% off is awesome.
Cool. So the next tip, I'm going to just overview it, and Sarah's going to dig deeper into it. So the next tip for copy, everything has a process, everything has a structure. So for copywriting, one of the best structures we found, and we've played with a few of them, is hook, story, offer. It's a 3-step a 3-step structure: hook, story, offer. Now Sarah's going to dig down a little bit deep just around the story part in particular, but just to expand that. Sarah, do you want to share that?
Yeah, sure. So just to recap, hook is usually your big juicy headline, or maybe on Facebook, maybe Facebook ad, maybe Facebook post, it might even be the image, which might have a bit of text on it, something like that. So the hook in general is something that's grabbing attention, right? So that's the key role of the hook. The story part works really well for your social media posts and even ads. So the story could be your story. It could be a story from one of your clients, like almost like a testimonial story, or it could be a story about your product or service that enhances the perceived value. So the story is not just a la-di-da-di-da once upon a time story. This is a story that when someone reads it, they connect with what's going on, maybe the emotional story in it, and they connect with that before and after contrast that the story provides. And that in itself can influence and persuade them to see the before and after, which helps them make a decision. But it also highlights the value of your product or service. And then of course, when we end with offer as the 3rd step, it's as simple as your product, how it's going to help them, like a recap of the benefits, and then the call to action. So I think too often we're scared to actually put a call to action on some of our posts and our content that goes out. But number one thing for online business is capturing leads. And if you've provided value within the story, don't feel bad about asking them to take the next step with you. And that kind of leads into funnel.
Yeah, give them permission to actually buy from you. So funnels, we've heard of funnels, and I know I've seen complex funnels, I've seen easy funnels, I've seen the lot. Okay, but the one thing is you have to have some kind of funnel. And the hot tip is just do the first 3 steps. Just know where you're getting your people from, and when they come into you, where they go next. So they may come into you, you may give them a PDF or a video or something like that. Well, what's the next permission you're going to give them? What's the next objective? Is it for a small price something? It could be a $7 video, it could be a $97 course, it could be anything, but know what the 3 steps are. So you get them in, they get a free something, which will go into our next one in a minute. Get them in, know what the next step is, and then know what their next step. That's it. 3 steps. Get them in, get them into a low price and offering value all along the way, and then get them into a slightly higher price product. If you have those 3 steps and monetize it, you're already well on your way. So just 3 steps. We're going to teach you the tech about that next week, but more on influence and persuasion. Influence and persuasion.
Yes.
We have a top tip.
Top tip for influence and persuasion. And again, it's coming back to lead magnets and funnels. And it's the idea of one of the laws of influence and persuasion, which is, now let me say this correctly, reciprocity.
Yeah, the law of reciprocity. And that comes from Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, look, essentially, you providing value means that you're sharing your knowledge without a price tag sometimes. So a bit like what we're doing here, we're showing up, we're offering some tips, we are giving away some value for free. So it's setting up this idea of, actually you take over, Kamal, because you're probably better explaining this than I. I feel like I'm digging myself a hole here.
You're doing great. No, the law of reciprocity is that when somebody gives you something, you're much more inclined to give something back. So you're just so right with the lead magnet. When somebody's giving you a free webinar, a free PDF, free whatever, we always ask for the email. So that's the law of reciprocity. So when you're showing up and you're giving value, then when you ask for the sale, they're more likely to actually say yes to the sale. So when you're adding value, whether that is in your email list, which remember, that is your only true list, your written space everywhere else. So however you're communicating with your actual audience, that the more value you're given, the more likely, the more sweeties, if you like, the more chocolate you're given, the more likely they are when you say, oh, can you pay me for a little bit of that chocolate? They say, oh, it was delicious. Yes, I'll give you some money. So that's the law of reciprocity.
I love that you brought that down to chocolate. You're making me hungry.
Well, I thought, if I kind of hook into a few people with chocolate, but that's awesome. Cool. So there are the 5 tips. And trust me, if you did nothing else other than those 5 tips, you'd be well on your way of really honing in these 5 skills. And you will find that you use them everywhere. Yes, you can chunk down and you can make more out of them. But if you start at least with them. So tomorrow, we're going to share some insights into the time frames of marketing success. It's all right learning these 5 skills, but quite often then we get asked, well, that's okay. How long is it going to take me to learn them? Well, not as long as you may think, but we know a few different ways, and we've tried that will cut days, months, and years off. And tomorrow we're going to share with you the #1 way that we have found to cut that time off that. There's only one shortcut that we truly believe and know. So comment below if you think you know what that shortcut is. And we will reveal it all tomorrow. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3:30 Australian Western Standard Time, 3:30. So tune in and we will reveal that one true shortcut that we know that's going to cut days, months, and years off your journey.
Sounds awesome.
That's it for now. For now, guys, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us, and it's bye from us.